as we were saying.
Why y'all so fucking...
I'll get to it. I'll let it breathe for editing purposes. Okay. But anyway, like I was saying, health is important.
It is.
Talking off camera. Mm-hmm. But as we get older, we should monitor health further. Because we have children, we have people who love us. And of course, as we get older, things become more complicated. Maintaining good health and monitoring our health. From being stubborn or just even ignoring certain warning signs that our body tries to tell us certain things, and we think it's going to be all right because we approach it from different aspects.
Right on.
It could be just religious, praying about it, or be thinking, like I said, as long as you eat well, it should work itself out, or a combination of both. So recently, Ananda Lewis, which is a television personality, a VJ, which she was, a television personality?
What'd you say her name was?
Ananda? Tell me what the right proper... Tell me, pronounce it for me then.
Ananda.
I'm sorry, Ananda Lewis. My bad. My bad. No, salute her. No, much respect, because I don't want to do that.
Yeah, please don't, man.
But now she was a VJ, like you said, off camera. VH, well not VH1, Team Summit, and of course on BET regarding...
BET was turning something.
And then Total Quest Live, that's where it was on MTV. Yes, there you go. She had a recent bout with cancer when she was diagnosed in 2019. And of course she recently passed from aggressive progression of the actual disease itself. Now she did approach it from, I'm not going to really go the typical Western route and get the proper treatment from a medical standpoint. She thought maybe she'd go the holistic route in regards to eating better and going from that natural medicine, the natural way, I should say.
Right.
Now, my question to the panel, what are you guys' thoughts on, especially because of cancer, do you agree with modern medicine itself? And do you have a responsibility to take people in consideration regarding your kids, your spouse, or people who really care about you, especially when they're trying to encourage you to go to the checkups, follow through with appointments, and take the necessary steps to battle whatever disease you got going on?
So I personally have been through that experience. I have an auntie that passed away back in '07. She was very religious, very Christian, very, So I don't know exactly how long she had, cancer or whatnot before we all knew. And then, before I knew, she passed away. But from our understanding, that's what she was doing, saying that God got it, praying it away. She was not doing any kind of medicine, any kind of nothing that has to do with cancer. You know what I'm saying? She just strictly felt like maybe her remedies, natural remedies, I'm sure she was doing that. I remember her kind of being that type of person. I'm sure that's what she was doing too, but then even having a child that is a actual doctor, nurse, stuff like that, and, us finding out, and she still, it took, to when it was bad that, we had to push it to go, and then it was too late. So, unfortunately she did pass away too, but, could it have been stopped? I feel like I'm not religious, so being a spiritual person I am, I do cleansings, I do remedies, I do a lot of herbs and stuff like that, and that's what I want to do, period, to be healthy and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I'm going through something, I know I need medicine. I know that God put the doctors here to do those things.
As a resource.
They're not just here. So even if you do your home remedies and practice your way, you still have to go to a doctor. You still have to because they're here for that knowledge to show you. You don't just know. You can't, just like you're researching on Google and all this other stuff. Of course, you probably didn't have that stuff then to do, but even though you're doing all this research, they're here for a reason.
Yeah.
And so, like
you
I
can't
say,
just pray cancer away.
Yeah. You definitely can't pray it away. You definitely still need the medication or whatever it is. Maybe it's a healthier way you can receive the medication or whatnot, but
like supplement it with your home remedies, but still receive
so
it.
I feel like even if it was what she wanted to do. It's not wrong against her family and friends because it does hurt us, but I feel like we all pass away. We already know. So how somebody chooses to live their life is them, but at the end of the day, yeah, it does hurt us as a person to know that someone wants to do a certain thing that we can't help them.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, no, I mean, I don't think it was wrong of her. I just feel like she should have went, or whoever it may be, should go through those proper steps. You want
to go first? I mean, next, I'm sorry, JD.
No, you can let Duran.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. She said go ahead.
Some shit to go. I don't, you know, like it's you know, let me give myself a chance to gather my words. I have a cancerous family, so my mother's a cancer survivor. My father is a cancer survivor. My grandmother, she did not survive cancer. I mean, I could probably go throughout my family tree and name off everybody who's had cancer, the steps they taking and everything. But my mom, she's a Jehovah's Witness. So it's like, if she has the option to take a blood transfusion, she won't take it even if it means saving her life. So at the end of the day, it's like, if a person chooses how they want to go, then essentially that's their choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to fall out with my mom by giving her my blood to keep her alive or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, even if she was living, like, we probably wouldn't be close. So
because
whatever you decide, yeah. And I mean, like, she has me, she got grandkids, she got, you know, all of that. So it's like, you know, with y'all, like, is it something that, you know, if somebody stood on business, that's their principle, that's what they're like, y'all would go against.
I feel like that about death. Tough. I mean, like, I feel like I want to be cremated. That's what better happen, you know, and whatnot.
So what they put you in the dirt?
That's what I'm
you gonna raise out that motherfucker? It's after midnight.
But yeah, no, like, for real, I don't want to be that way because of my spirituality and how I feel like I need to be given back to the earth. So, you know, like, no, like, don't. So
you don't want to be a tree?
Definitely cremate me. Huh?
You don't want to be a tree?
I don't know what he's gonna bring you.
No, they cremate and use their ashes to plant trees.
Oh no, I want to be over Venice Beach. Oh, that's recorded. That might not stay, but that's recorded.
Well, if it's in your,
I want to be over Venice.
In your will, it could be in your will.
Yeah.
How many times you been to Venice Beach?
Only once, and that's all I need. But I might have been there a long time ago. I don't know. That's probably where I was.
You might need to get you some more beaches in your life.
I'm still gonna want to be at that beach.
Nah, I could.
But that's definitely the only beach I've been to.
So, but what about Dorinda yourself?
You wasn't super in love, friend. I'll show you some shit in life. We can.
Boy, you can still show me some shit in life.
No, we can have like some friend shit, like on some kicking and going.
Have friend
but nah, I can't friendcation with you.
Oh my God! Look,
I can't friendcation with you.
Why? We could all go together.
We can't friendcation.
Why? Oh my goodness.
She got an old man, and I don't know your situation as of right now. You still juggling, figuring it out.
We are going
juggling, figuring out what?
I don't know. That was
what they got to do with.
It was some yeehaw. You can't go.
Now you know.
This is a whole different thing. Let's not get too far away. We can put a pin in this and come back to
it.
Your thoughts on, like, I know it's. What are your thoughts overall?
I mean, I can see from the standpoint of the loved ones feeling like it's selfish, and I can also see from the standpoint that it's their body, their choice. Mm-hmm. Like, people get to choose how they want to live their life, and there's not really much we can do about it.
Big facts.
All you can do, and really the only thing, because it's, to me, would be no different than people that, like, suffer real bad from mental health issues and keep it to themselves and then kill themselves. Like, my nephew did that.
Well, some of that has a lot of stigma put on it too. Mm-hmm. Like, some people are more so ashamed than, I mean, but like, if you got cancer, it really ain't nothing to be ashamed
about.
of.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not your
really
fault.
Even if you have a mental illness, like, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I could talk about that shit too.
But that's the thing, because we can't control how other people choose to live their lives and the decisions that they make.
Yeah.
So although we may feel like it's selfish because we feel like they're not considering us.
You think it's selfish?
It's not about us at the end of the day. It's about them.
And then, like, if a person chose to eat, like, sometimes people be in fucking pain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm hurting. Even I'm doing all this other shit to ease it or to get rid of it, but that shit put me in more pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? My folks, like, I stayed at the time when my mom got diagnosed and my granny got diagnosed. Mm-hmm. My mom was real optimistic. She like, I don't know what cancer's gonna go, but it's gonna get up out of me. Like, my mom would joke. She play like I do. So it's like, I would sit in the house with them and they would be it'll be 60 degrees in the house because they got the air conditioner all the way down. And they sweating and shit because of chemotherapy and all that shit. Like, they was in pain during that whole process. But they pushed through it and made it out. But, well, not my granny, but it's just, you know, sometimes people get tired. So I can respect the person getting tired and all that shit. And, you know, I respect people where they are, what they decide, and how they want to do it.
And I was going to say, I'm familiar with both sides of the coin regarding them having
heads and tails.
That part. But I'm saying regarding someone that wants to go the natural route, but then they change their mind and they start considering these medical options, and it worked out for them. And I also, like I said, my grandma, she passed away from breast cancer, and I'm aware of what you're saying. Some people are suffering or they go through it because you do sit with them, you try to visit them on a regular basis, and they also just, you know, there's most time they're relegated to a room. Because they're trying to, you know, relax and recover. My grandmother, she was really, I guess, high-spirited. She was kind of accepting that, you know, I'm going to go through this particular procedure, I'm going to go through this process, but if it's my time, it's my time. Mm. She didn't ignore, of course, modern medicine, but she was just at peace where she was at and the people she was surrounded with.
And that's okay.
And we kind of just supported her in that manner. Because before she told us, cause I think we kind of have an assumption that she knew prior to telling us. She had the timeshares at Branson, and we would like just do the old, now it's Airbnbs now, but back then it would just rent certain spots.
You was eyeballing it?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying, where, you know, timeshares, that's what they did a lot back years ago.
Well, I'm just saying.
And so she got 3 apartments full of like houses type stuff where like 40 of us went up there. And like we would just spend time with her. But we didn't know at the time that she was doing that for a reason. She had her children, her grandchildren, and we just chilled in Branson for like 3 or 4 days. Mm. And like I said, we cooked, we shared time together, we went to the pool locally, that's on the same resort. And we would spend time, but then as time would go on, she told us she was suffering. We kind of put it in our mind, she probably did that for a reason. She knew that she probably got the diagnosis, she just didn't tell us, and she was like, you know what, while I got this time still on this earth, I'm going to make sure I spend time with all my grandkids and all my children, just in case, when my time is to go, I go. But I'm glad she did that because we got a chance to spend those moments with her. But getting back to what you were saying about the loved ones, just kind of going through the pain, she definitely went through her process. Me personally, I am for modern medicine, but I think there is a selfish element to that, in my opinion.
Modern medicine?
No, I'm saying the person choosing to go whatever route they want to go in. If they say, for example, I don't want to go the natural route and I pray about it, and if it happens, it happens. It is their decision. I would take in consideration my family, my friends, and people that I love, because I do want to be as long as I can. I don't want to be, I'm trying to find the right word, I don't want to be, I guess you say stubborn.
I know you've been to war, so you have been shot.
If I've been shot, not me personally. I've not been shot.
You have been stabbed?
No, I've been, knives have been pulled on me, and I've gotten out of the situation.
Okay, cool.
And I'm glad I'm being fortunate that
you ever had a child or anything?
No, I have not gave birth to a child, but I would say I have been paralyzed. So I went through a traumatic event.
At that point, like, you was in like a grave amount of pain. If you were paralyzed and a motherfucker put like 1,000-pound weight on your chest or some shit, would you like want to push the weight off you, or like how would you feel?
So I mean, then sure you want to get the weight off you because it's hurting you.
Yeah,
it's just a level of discomfort that you do not want to deal with long term.
Right.
go ahead with the rest of your scenario.
So what I'm saying is like, if that's how somebody feel, that's how somebody feel. I don't think it's selfish. I think like, fucking like, if it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like if you eat too much, you be like, you know when you full, you know when you done had enough. You done had enough. So if you feel like in your heart of hearts you done had enough, then shit, I'll let you go. I'm okay with it, bro. I had to.
But see, though. I'm saying like, let's say for example, I got 4 children. Let's say out of my 4, my 2 kids like, Daddy, please do this. I would say to myself,
the fuck they got to do with them though? They selfish.
Well, I'm saying they're selfish. I think on both ends. The person who's going through it, because it is your decision ultimately. And well, I mean, this is just my opinion.
Yeah,
and I'm saying,
shaking my head.
And then when it comes to the child or children that say, Daddy, please do this because we want you a little bit longer. Let's fight for it, because let's say when they catch it, the probability of getting through it successfully is this. Let's say it is higher. I would probably take in consideration because I probably want to be here a little bit longer for them.
So what you gonna do with them what you gonna do for them if you bedridden throughout that time? Here?
I'm saying, but then
so you out here doing what?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to recover.
So,
but I'm saying if my doctor say this, if my doctor say that, and data has said, you know what, if you go through this particular procedure and this process now, because we caught it at this stage, the likelihood of you recovering is this. If it's greater than the other alternative, then I'm gonna probably go through it for not just for myself, but for them.
To do what?
To hopefully get on the back end of this, recover, and then back moving around, being mobile, doing my daily stuff. I could even go back to work.
Okay.
I would make the decision. That's me. I'm not shading anyone who doesn't go that route. I'm just saying that what I would do. Because I would take their opinion in consideration.
Okay.
And their feelings in that regard.
Okay.
Especially my children.
Okay.
And even if my wife was saying,
to do what though? That's what I'm like. If you fucking like, if you up in age, and you fucking come off of an illness, like what the fuck are you gonna do for your kids that you wouldn't do if you was dead? What would you do?
In regards to if I'm
outside of just being here in the physical, like what would you do
if I'm able to move around on the back end of this?
To do what though?
Vacation, chill. The stuff you were doing prior to the diagnosis. That's gonna get the everyday life.
You 75 years old. You beat cancer.
Okay, and then I may have another.
To do 10, what?
I may have another 10 to 15. If just doing a simple barbecue at the house, that is there.
You sitting there in a fucking chair, looking stupid, just motherfucker to point at you. You a fucking a statue.
Not
so
necessarily.
It sounds like he's saying he's speaking from the perspective that he's healed.
Yeah, I'm saying recovered.
To do what though? That's
it's still functional to live.
Yeah, I may do daily.
At fucking up in age. Now
you have like 70. So there's 75-year-olds that has recovered from cancer in this particular disease and still out here living.
So
I know people that had heart transplants that have recovered.
So it sounds like JD, you're speaking from the perspective of like a person healing but kind of being a vegetable versus you speaking from a person that's healing and being fully functional.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the difference.
And that's what I'm speaking about. I didn't make that clear. I apologize, but that's what I'm speaking from. Because I know someone.
He's saying like you would be a burden.
Yeah.
For example,
like I'm not.
And I wouldn't be here to be a burden on my kids. I done told my children, before you sit up here and put me in your house and have to take care of me, put me in a home. Like, don't sit up here and I raised you. You don't have to sit up here and babysit me, bro. Put me in a home. And I told them that. Like, I want to be in a situation of where I can pay for me to be in a home or do whatever. Mm-hmm. Like me, I love my mama enough, I love my father enough that I would let them live with me. But if that was against their wishes, they didn't want to hinder me, and they wanted to do this, then I would do that. Like, I'm not going to go against nothing that nobody else got going on. And I'm not going to fight to be a burden on nobody. You sitting up here thinking like, okay, well, I came back from cancer, I'm going to be 100%. I'm going to go out here and lift weights and do stations and shit. No, I'm going to be fucking...
But it's possible, though,
because
I'm not saying that it's not.
That's what I'm getting for, because she don't mind, because she shared this her own story.
And when he died, who going to cover the bill?
That's a whole different topic.
So let's talk about all of it, because at the end of the day, the medical shit is expensive. So you doing all this to survive and fight.
Yes.
And all of this, and you come through it, and yay, and hopefully everything is great.
Yes.
Who gonna cover the bill?
Well, then we'll worry about that when we cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, well, that's another burden on your kids.
Not necessarily.
If they choose to cover the bill, or you can die with debt.
But that's done. That's fine because the debt's not gonna never get paid because I died.
Hey man, I just look at it like
that's not necessarily true either because they'll hit your kids for your debt.
Okay, we can have that's once again we will cross that bridge when that gets there. But a
lot of that shit selfish on both ends.
But that's why I said that initially.
That shit selfish on both ends.
There's a level of selfishness on both ends. A person that's going through it, making their decisions, and people that want to keep them around because they, there's love. It comes from a good place for the most part.
No, it ain't.
You don't think it is at all?
Oh man, bro, if you love a motherfucker and that's what they want,
then leave them alone.
If that's what they want,
leave them alone. Gotcha.
How you love somebody? Like, bro, like it just hit me different because nigga, I was overseas with my grandma. So my grandmother got diagnosed with cancer.
Yes, sir.
I left, went over there with my dad so my mom could better take care of my grandmother while she was sick. My granny got mad at my mama for letting me go overseas. So she didn't talk to my mama while I was gone. She talked to me. When I was overseas, my granny never told me she was hurt, none of that shit. Then she told me she was hurting, so I knew it was serious. So then I'm like, I gotta go home. My granny would not pass away until I got back home. So she was holding on to make sure that I made it back home. So my whole thing is like, bro, like I don't want you to be sitting up here going through something, feeling pain because I want to keep you here. Like I love, that was my best friend. That was everything to me.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, like I don't want you to stay here and be in pain. If you want to go, if it's up to me to release, I release you from that shit. So it's just different. Like I'm not that selfish to make you want to sit up here because I want you around.
But in my scenario, I was saying that
you got up and you was everything.
No, it's silly. I was saying that I was in agreeing with two of my children in that scenario where I want to still be around myself. So I'm willing to go through the process and hopefully come out on the other end better off. And then boom, life continues. I'm still, like you said, functional, getting around. They still move. Even if I got a hobby, if I'm retired, I'm fishing. Whatever the case may be.
If you wore diapers, would you stay with your kids?
Say again. I'm sorry.
If you wore diapers, would you stay with your kids?
If I wore a diaper and
if you wore diapers, would you stay with your children?
If I'm wearing a diaper, I can take care of myself still.
Okay.
Because you said wear a diaper. You said that's what you just said, right?
If you wore a diaper, would you stay with your children?
That don't mean I'm not moving around my house and just disposing to myself and so like you talk. I don't know.
9 times out of 10, if you in diapers, you ain't.
I mean, sure. The answer to that question, sure. If that was the solution,
yeah.
Hey,
that's the solution. That's what they said. Daddy, come stay with me. Sure, but I would want to stay with them. No, but that's different. I'm not speaking from that scenario. I'm speaking about because I know people we all know people who have gotten past cancer.
I do. I know somebody that had 3 heart surgeries and came back and they moving around.
I'm getting from that perspective. But getting to your scenario, sure, I would not want to be in my house with my children and they have to worry about me like that. No, I wouldn't. But I'm going by what, like I said, Dorinda said.
The best scenario.
Well, I mean, that's happened. That's happened a lot. There'd be a lot of people that survive their first bout with cancer. Depending on, it could
you got the stats.
Say again, sir?
You got the stats. You're a statistic.
Do I have the overall stats right now? I'm going by just anecdotal evidence. In regards to, I know people personally, and you know people personally. And I'm pretty sure we all know people who have gotten past cancer. And once again,
hey man, I'm gonna say this: rest in peace to that lady.
Yes, that's
what she decided to do.
Yes,
I think later on she, kind of had a little bit of regret about it.
Yes,
but condolences to her child.
Yep.
Condolences to her family, and whatever a person decide, it's their choice, their body. So that's where I'm at with it. I know, everybody got mixed emotions about this.
No,
shit.
I think we all align with the same.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, I think we all said the same thing.
That ain't what you said. You said I'm fighting through it. And
I said
my kids get the bill and they gotta take care of me or whatever.
Anyway, that's not what I said overall. I'm saying that I agree with your sentiments. We all are in line with the same sentiments. It is your choice.
I told my kids they better not take care of me.
Okay, salute.
Yeah, it's just me though.
No,
I ain't putting no burden on. I work my life to make their life easy. I ain't finna be no burden on my fucking kid.
Correct. And like I said, we salute you in that regard.
Yeah.
No one's trying to say you to change your mind.
I mean, it's cool, you know.
But no, it's good.
Yeah, you know, whatever y'all decide, salute.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys decide. And
Rest
also,
in peace, that lady.
Rest in peace once again. And anyone going through
Ananda Lewis.
There you go.
Yeah.
And anyone going through this particular circumstance, God's with you, and whatever you decide is your decision.
I said, my mama a Jehovah's Witness, so I ain't finna fall out with her about what she decided. And she can't do blood transfusion. It's a lot of shit she can't do.
Correct.
So, to respect her and her views and her religious beliefs,
yeah,
I'm gonna do exactly what she told me to fucking do. Same thing with my father. So, that's just me, though.
But you are for modern medicine yourself?
Who?
You
my
personally.
mama has used modern medicine.
I'm saying
I use modern medicine and herbs.
Gotcha.
But if I get to a point to where I can't take no more, I look at my son and tell my son, bro, I can't take no more. And he know what to do at that point. I done had these, like, we talk about this kind of shit. I had these conversations with my children. They know exactly what to do. They know my plans and all that shit. Now, I do need to write this shit down to make, you got a will and shit? You got a will? Y'all ain't got no kind of...
I have an actual book.
No book. Yeah, see, like, yeah, I need to write my shit down.
No, mine is an actual living. I mean, it must be a will, but it's a book.
It's basically a will, but you do need to get it notarized. Yeah, you need to get it notarized and all that shit from. I'm gonna go be a notary, so I can notarize this shit for you.
Okay, less. Well, good discussion. I like it. Yep.
Cool. That's a way to end it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's real. I like it.
Keep fighting, guys.
I like that.
Keep fighting. This guy. This motherfucker here. Hey, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to 501 Witty. We're trying to come and provide y'all with the best content, best pod that we can. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Tell your people, tell your friends, tell everybody. Come on in. We need y'all. So, for sure, tap in. Thank you. Bam!